We're back here. As we mentioned in the last video, with the changes that you have made and programmed into the phone, you would have now switched away from Fort Lauderdale and connected the phone system to Salt Lake City. So as you can see, it'll have the date and the time. The time, by the way, is relevant to Mountain Time. Salt Lake City is in the Mountain Time Zone. Their phone system is in Mountain Time. And as you notice, it says Omega Travel SLC. SLC, for those of you that do not know, stands for Salt Lake City. So you are connected to the Salt Lake City phone system. Now, I do apologize for those of you that are prone to motion sickness like I am. I am recording this with my cell phone camera. It's the best quality that I can get. My video camera will not do what I need it to do, so we're using this. So I do apologize for any motion sickness. What I'm going to do now is switch the view from the phone to my computer screen so you can look at the spreadsheet that we're working on. And if you want to close your eyes, you can do so. Okay. And we are now looking at the spreadsheet that we've created on the screen. You can open your eyes now. And I want you to notice a few things here. When you are logged into Salt Lake City, there's a few things that you have to keep in mind. One, you will be using a different extension. Okay. Two, there is no voicemail for us to use in Salt Lake City. Okay. The reason that you're connecting to Salt Lake City is that there is an emergency in Fort Lauderdale, whether it's a hurricane, whether it's a terrorist attack, whether it's Godzilla came out of the ocean and attacked the building. Doesn't really matter. You're connected to Salt Lake City because something happened in Fort Lauderdale and you will not have access to the phone system. We've set this up in Salt Lake as not a direct replacement but an emergency backup. Because it's an emergency and because it's a backup, we do not have access to the same tools that we have in Fort Lauderdale. That's okay. Our purpose here is to answer phone calls for clients that have questions and concerns. Okay. Now, again, you have a different extension, you have a different voicemail. Your clients will not be able to reach you directly, okay? When they call in, they will hear a message to the effect of "thank you for calling," and they'll be put into a queue where they'll be answered by the first available agent. That agent will have the same spreadsheet that you do, and if you are on duty, they'll be able to transfer the call to you if you're not busy, of course. But there is no voicemail. None at all. As a result, being able to dial your extension is a function of the voicemail system. So because we don't have access to voicemail, people will not be able to call you directly. We know this is an inconvenience, but again, we're doing this because if there's an emergency. We're not doing this to make anybody's life more difficult. So, these are the things that are going to happen if there is an emergency in Fort Lauderdale. So again, you'll have an extension list. You'll be able to transfer phone calls to people. If somebody calls for Agent X and they're not on duty, the person will have to call back when they are on duty, or you can help them to the best of your extent. Okay. You can explain to them what's going on and why the calls are coming to this area. That's fine. I mean, they're probably calling because we have a hurricane and they may have questions about their cruise and so forth. So, it's an emergency and these are things that can happen. And again, this list will be available to all of you to be able to transfer calls to each other. Again, if you're not on duty, you will not get your clients to be able to call you directly. Okay? And again, I want you to notice that you have a 3-digit login. So just as if you are connected to Fort Lauderdale, you will log in at the beginning of your shift, you will log out for lunch, you will log back in when you come back from lunch, and you will log out at the end of your shift. The next video, we're going to show you how, once the emergency has been lifted, and you will connect back to Fort Lauderdale, or more importantly, at the end of your shift, the things that you will need to do so that the next agent can connect to the phone system. That'll be in the next video. Thank you.